Start broadcasting. Ready? Go.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
No.
Okay.
No. We're good now.
Yeah. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order and start with the pledge.
Pledge
allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do the roll call.
Yes. Chair Julie Highsmith.
Present.
Vice Chair Lisa Ryan.
Present.
Dr. Bill Thalmer.
Present.
Crystal Clark.
Present.
Brittany Lee.
Present.
Darian Johnson.
Present.
And Vice Mayor Jeff O'Mara.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll turn it over to Principal Gogler.
Hello. We are going to try, I think, are you going to make it so that I'm presenting to everybody?
Yes. Just
Yeah.
sent it over to you.
All right, so I'm going to say, show my screen. And now I'll go to my presentation. I'm excited to see you all tonight. It's much more fun when we're in person, but it's great to see you all on the screen. And can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So what I would like to start with tonight is just a little bit of information about our school. Okay. So this year we have 40 classroom teachers here at Rural Palm Beach Elementary. That includes, in addition to the 40 classroom teachers, we have one SAI teacher for reading remediation, one ESOL teacher, 2.5 varying exceptionalities teachers, 3.4 speech and language pathologists, and 5 fine arts teachers. Our support staff includes a community language facilitator, behavioral health professional, behavior intervention assistant, and then our office staff, custodial team, cafeteria staff, and paraprofessionals to support students in our ASD unit. This year, we currently have 668 students, and that's a little lower than in years past. Compared with last year, we had 715. And out of our 668, we currently have 350 who are attending in person and 318 who are remaining with the distance learning at this time. But we all know that can change. I'd like to go through some of our safety protocols that are in place this year because it's very different, obviously, than in years past. And this is all information that we've shared many times with our parents and students. Before coming to school, at home, we're encouraging students to self-screen with their families and make sure that they're only coming to school if they're feeling well and healthy. Students and staff are required to wear face masks at all times. And to help encourage this, we've done a campaign where we've taken pictures of everybody with their fancy face masks on and posted them all around the school as reminders. We make a big deal about, the little boy that came in with the Matchbox cars all over his face mask, or the girl that has the unicorns all over it. We're always making a big deal about how fancy and cute they look in their face masks. to have a lanyard around their neck so that whenever they take their face masks off to eat breakfast or lunch, they're able to clip their face masks on the lanyard rather than placing them down on the table. We were very thankful this year to receive 5 reusable face masks for each of our students and staff from the school district, and we were also given a very generous donation of face masks from the Village of Wellington, or Village of World Beach. School bus transportation, social distancing is encouraged while at the bus stop, and students are required to wear face masks on the school bus. Our bus drivers are keeping seating charts and trying to keep the students separated as much as possible. Outside our school, on the sidewalk that surrounds our school, we painted these large blue and yellow paw prints 6 feet apart to help our families keep their social distance while they're waiting to come in the building or waiting to pick their children up after school. And that seems to have really helped. During student arrival, this was probably the most difficult thing, especially for our younger students who are just first entering kindergarten. In the past, we've always encouraged our parents to walk children to their classrooms during the first week of school. And then we've had Independence Day that first Friday, where students say goodbye to their parents at the exterior doors and walk in independently. And this year we had to have Independence Day on the very first day of school. It was absolutely incredible. Our staff was all outside and ready to greet students, walking them to class. And amazingly enough, we didn't have any criers on the first day of school saying goodbye to their parents, which really surprised us all. We have lots of staff on duty outside as well as inside the building to make sure that our students are following our safety protocols and finding their way to class. In the front office, we've marked, you can see the yellow stickers with the footprints, marked our 6-foot distances and are requiring everyone to wear face masks at all times. If visitors come to our building, this is another huge change, and it's really pretty heartbreaking at this point, but we're encouraging visitors to be scheduled at least 24 hours in advance, and then we're taking visitors' temperatures and requiring face masks. We have disposable face masks at the front desk and at each of the entrances to our school in case somebody forgets their face mask at home. In our hallways, everything looks very different. You'll see these orange cones with the signs reminding students to walk on the right side of the hallway. The paw prints with the heart that says "Be safe, Bobcats," those are posted on the bottom of the walls throughout the entire building, 6 feet apart. And then you can see that little paw print sticker on the white tile. Those are also placed on the floor throughout the building to help our students gauge 6 feet apart. Breakfast is served daily and is free of charge for all of our Bobcats between 7:45 and 8:05 each morning. And we have 4 carts where it's a grab-and-go breakfast. 2 are located upstairs and 2 downstairs. So as students are entering the building, they're passing by the breakfast carts and able to pick that up and go directly to their classroom rather than having a large group of students in the cafeteria. Our desks are set up very differently than in years past. Our students are all facing in the same direction, and the desks are 6 feet apart. Everything is labeled so that students are only sitting in their chair at their desk. Now, whenever we started, it's only been 2 weeks. It seems like much longer than that. when we started with some of our students staying home and some of our students returning to school, we went through very specific descriptions of what does classroom instruction look like for those students who are in person compared with the students who are still involved with the distance learning. So we were very lucky. We were one of the schools that was issued enough Chromebooks to be at a 1-to-1 ratio, one Chromebook for each one of our students. If students were returning to the school, we asked them to bring their district-issued Chromebook and charger back to the school to be used throughout the instructional day. They were asked to bring headphones or earbuds, and we are storing those devices here and charging them here each evening. They're all labeled with the student name, so they're not sharing devices between students. We asked for very limited supplies for our students to bring to school or to use at home, and that would just include very basic paper, pencils, crayons, hand sanitizer, that kind of thing. And we're not sharing any of those items among students in the building. For the students participating in distance learning, we have an attendance form that's on their Google Classroom that the students are completing each morning while the teacher in school is taking roll for those students who are in person. This was something that we thought of kind of like at the last minute. If there's a safety drill at school, we're like, oh my gosh, what are we supposed to do with the kids who are at home? So we've encouraged our kids at home to remain in the Google Classroom until the teacher and class returns, like from the fire drill or whatever. And we've reminded all of our students that the Google meetings are recorded and the district student conduct policy is still in place, whether we're in the building or in distance learning. Schedules were adjusted slightly as students returned to school because we could no longer have like office hours from 2:05 to 2:35 because that's whenever we're in the midst of dismissal. But for the most part, our schedules stayed very much the same. As much as possible, all of our students have remained with their current teachers, and we kind of told people up front that some schedules and some assignments may be adjusted, but for the most part, I haven't changed a single class. I think all of the students are still assigned to their same teachers, but some of the teachers have organized themselves a little bit differently. For example, I have a pair of second grade teachers who, between the two teachers, have about half of their kids in the building and half of the students participating from home. So they've partnered together, and while one is teaching reading to the students who are in person, the other is teaching reading to the students who are at home. And then same with math, one is teaching the in-person kids while the other teacher is teaching the students at home. And that's kind of helped them to balance out the attention that they're paying to each of the students, whether in person or in the distance learning. Water fountains are closed for drinking, but we are lucky we have the refillable water fountains for the bottles. So we've asked students to bring in a labeled water bottle that they can fill at the station. Recess, as much as possible, we're trying to still schedule recess outside as long as the weather's okay. And although they're not able to share equipment or play on the playgrounds at this time, the teachers and students have been very creative with some of the games that they've been playing outside and enjoying their time outside. Games might be as simple as sign and says. Up through 5th grade, we have some teachers who have been very creative with some of the activities they've planned for their students while they're outside. Fine arts classes, between art, music, media, and guidance, we're providing those fine arts classes in the classroom to limit the movement throughout the hallways. And PE classes are still held outside under the pavilion with no equipment or supplies being shared. The cafeteria cafeteria. If you've been here before, you would not recognize the cafeteria now. Some of our students are eating lunch in the cafeteria while others are eating in their classrooms. Students are seated in the same direction, as you can see from the picture, and keeping social distances. So we have students seated only on the outside of each table, on the ends of each table. And you can see we've used the same yellow stickers to indicate 6 feet apart while the students are standing in line to go through the lunch line. Student dismissal, this is an improvement that we made this year. I'm sure other schools have done this before, but up until this year, we've been calling student names over the radio and dismissing by grade level out to the car loop. So for example, if you had 2 children and Benjamin was in 4th grade and Rebecca was in 1st grade, you might have to stop up here by the office to pick up Benjamin and then drive down to the west end of the building to pick up Rebecca. Now each family is issued one number so that siblings are coming out together. We're having all of the students staying in their classroom until the transportation is called and dismissed over the intercom. We're entering the numbers for car loop and walk-up pickup on a Google spreadsheet that's displayed in everybody's classroom. So even if you don't hear the number called on the radio, you'll see it displayed in the classroom. And then again, siblings are all coming out together. So that is definitely an improvement that we'll keep, even if someday, hopefully, the world returns to normal. Our volunteers, this was again one of the most difficult challenges that we faced this year. We are currently restricting visitors on campus for safety reasons, but it is really amazing and inspiring how much our Bobcat volunteers are continuing to support our students and staff. On the first day back with students, you'll see a watchdog dad there dressed as the Bobcat. He was our mascot and out greeting the students outside on the sidewalk on the first day back, which really helped make the day start off very special. We've had lots of donations of supplies, many volunteers at home helping us to prepare our school-wide safety signs and materials. We've had amazing participation in online meetings and conferences with our families. And for those 300 and something students who are working in the distance learning, it is absolutely amazing to see how much the parents are supporting their children's learning at home through the Google Classrooms meetings and even watching recorded lessons for our students who are in person as well as our students who are at home after school hours for extra support. Last year, we were recognized as a Gold Tier 1 Florida Positive Behavior Support Model School, and we're very proud of that, very excited about that. And this year, we're going for Platinum, which is the top level. And some of the ways that we are working to earn that Platinum status is through our Bobcat guidelines: be safe, be respectful, and be a learner. We have our school-wide morning meeting for all of our students in school and at home. We're recognizing Bobcat Students of the Month, and now instead of each classroom choosing one student of the month, they're choosing 2, one in-person learner and one distance learner. We have our Possum Positive Referrals, and that's unlimited. That applies to all grade levels, all students, whether they're learning in the building or learning at home. We're continuing with my favorite thing in the world, our Bobcat Golden Tickets that are awarded to the student in each class who is the biggest helper for their substitute teacher. And the kids really, they love that. It's been really cool. We're not able to do our Bobcat paw print tickets like with the weekly drawing, but what we're working on organizing now are virtual shout-out boards for each of the classrooms where the entire staff has access to each of those virtual bulletin boards so can recognize students in each class when we see that they're making good choices, again, whether in school or at home. Our guidance counselor is providing classroom guidance and character education to all of our students through the Fine Arts Wheel, kindergarten through fifth. And our behavioral health professional is continuing to provide individual and group counseling, both virtual and in person. So woohoo! We're looking forward to an amazing school year with our Bobcats, although it is very different than in years past. Here we go. Does anybody have any questions for me? That's the fastest presentation. It's so strange to be in this empty building giving this presentation all by myself.
Thank you, Mrs. Dogler. It's always wonderful to see the things going on at Rural Palm Beach Elementary. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Hey, Tracy, it's Bill. What do you account the drop in students to?
Well, that's a good question, Bill. Right now, we were allocated 6 kindergarten teachers. We've historically had at least six kindergarten classes, and this year we only had enough students to support 5 of those classes. So I'm wondering if some of our students, some of our parents may be holding off until next year to enroll their students in school because of all of the, craziness that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And I know that some of our families have moved out of state. I wish I had an easier answer. I would attribute at least some of it to kindergartners not entering this year.
Now,
And I'm hopeful we'll have a bunch of kindergartners enter next year.
do you have a plan for do you see these kids trickling back, Tracy? After they start to see their friends go back. You've got what 350 in, right, and 312 out or something. Do you see them starting to trickle back over October, or what have you seen trend wise?
So we see day to day right now it changes. So we've had anywhere, it's about a 30 student difference between our high and low for attendance in person. With the new Make Your Choice 2.0, where the parents are encouraged to make a decision that will last through the end of the first semester of school, I think that this is purely a guess. I would think that more students would be returning. Every day I have parents asking questions about our safety protocols and, that kind of thing to make sure they feel comfortable with having their students return to school. If not now, then I would think that the number would really rise in February when they have the choice to change their minds again.
Okay, well, thanks for all you're doing. Just checking on, the numbers and what your thoughts were. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll tell you, Bill, it's the most exciting thing in the world to have kids back in this building because it's not, our elementary school is made for children, not
Yep.
adults only. It's much more, much more energy, much more laughter, smiles, happiness whenever the kids are here.
Well, it's because it's the happiest place in the world. That's why.
Yes, it is.
Any other questions? Okay.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we have a report from the district.
Good evening. So happy to be with you again this evening. I'm not sure if you can see me or not. I'm actually en route. I do want to first, this is Valerie Haynes, if you can only hear me, reporting out. I want to first start by thanking Ms. Gogler. What a great job she did this evening in sharing the modifications that her and her leadership team and her teachers are currently implementing at Royal Palm L. And that really attributes to all of the work that they've done to prepare appropriately for, for safe opening of our students and staff. And as you see each school present each month, you will notice that they have done due diligence as well at their buildings, right? So a lot of preparation and a lot of problem solving that they have done in order to ensure safety and health of all of our faculty, staff, admin, and students, of course. So I wanted to make sure that we start thanking not only Ms. Dogler, the rest of our principals. This month, October, is the month where we recognize all of our principals. October is the month where we're recognizing all of the work and the hard work from our principals and their leadership. And we will continue to do that for the month of October, and quite honestly, every month, because it really shouldn't be just one month. It should be every month because of the hard work that they're doing. Well, at the same time, I also want to thank our teachers. They're working so hard, especially with the simultaneous teaching. It is something that is new to them, but they're doing such a great job in that we have seen some really good samples of some of the best practices. It is a very difficult modality to be able to do both, but we're seeing some of our teachers really do amazingly well in that approach. So we're very thankful for the hard work. I do want to discuss a little bit about Make Your Choice 2.0. Ms. Dogler had explained it a little bit in regards to our ask and our request as a district. The purpose of doing this is really to provide the schools with stability. Stability as to which students are expected to be back on a daily basis, so that the modification plans, such as the one that Ms. Dogler shared this evening, can be modified and can be expanded depending on the additional students that they're expecting to have come back in. So the window open for our parents to make a change if they choose to, and it closes October 14th. And so how they do that is to go back to the student portal and back to the tile that is Make Your Choice tile, and then that's where they can actually make the change if they're changing from distance learning to brick and mortar or vice versa. So we're asking them to lock in what it is that their choice is for the remainder of the semester, which means that it goes all the way through to January. So we are making that request again to be able to provide stability and for our schools and our principals to be able to plan accordingly so that all of our students stay safe. I did wanted to share with you, the data right now in regards to the percentage of students that are brick mortar by school, so that you have a better sense of as to where we are at the Village of Royal Palm Beach schools. So Steppers Trails right now is at 43% of their students are brick and mortar. Royal Palm Beach L 49%, H.L. Johnson 44%, Crestwood Middle School 24%, and Royal Palm Beach High School at 13%. So you'll notice that there's a lot more students that are coming in at the elementary level, and a little bit less in the secondary schools. So wanted to share that information with you. The other piece too that I wanted to touch on is the communication. We are really trying to work on improving that piece and making sure that the district updates are being provided to our communities. So our school centers are actually helping us with that, and that we are reporting out. If you noticed, you would have received one on Friday, October 2nd, which was our second communication piece, in which we're asking our school principals to add either to their current newsletter or current letter or form of communication that they use, but to include certain district updates and topics that is important for all of our communities to be able to receive the same message. And then in addition to that, then the schools, of course, are able to personalize it according to the updates that they want to provide pertaining to their specific school. But we are doing that, and so that the parents are able to get timely communication, and that way it would also help them to be able to, make appropriate decisions too in the future, especially to whether they want to continue their students with brick mortar or continue in distance learning, among other things. So with that said, that's all I have for you this evening, unless you have questions for me. Any questions for Central Region or the district? All right. Well then, If we don't have
Thank
any,
you so much.
oh, no worries. If we don't have any questions, I don't know if Ms. Andrews is, able to join us tonight.
Yep, she's here.
All right,
Yes,
awesome.
sure.
All right, Ms. Andrews,
All right, thank you so
thank
much.
you.
And good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here tonight. And I want to thank Royal Palm Beach Elementary School Bobcats, the happiest place on earth. Trace, I see you there in that screen. You're looking really beautiful. Well, I want to tell you, it's a lot of work in this pandemic. And we have to thank, first of all, our leadership through our principals, through our region, through our superintendents. It takes a lot when we're talking about children in brick and mortar and children in virtual distance learning. So, hip hip hooray for all of the work that you all have done. I personally live near Royal Palm Beach Elementary School, and I see all of those wonderful children every day riding their bicycles, walking to school, pretty happy about being back in the building. I have had the opportunity to walk the schools, and Dr. Amos, it was absolutely fabulous on the first day of school to start my day right over in Royal Palm Beach at Royal Palm Beach High School. The video that you all saw at last meeting, it was everything and more when you see it in person. And to be able to see the teachers who were excited to be back on the very first. But I want to say kudos to all of the people, the whole village, all of the teachers, the bus drivers, the cafeteria workers, the assistant principals, everybody that's making it happen for children. Because it is a time that's a little bit scary, but it's still a lot of fun to know that we are back. We are back in both ways helping the children. And Ms. Gogla, I was happy to hear that you have one-on-one Chromebooks. That was big for me to hear that today. And you have some extra, keeping them available for everybody. And the teachers who are teaching simultaneously, that's a big deal when you're teaching the children in front of you, as well as the ones right there on the screen, like we are right now. Our school board meeting just a week ago, and we had a hybrid model with some of the school board members on the computer and those of us that were in person. And it is a challenge to keep up with everybody to make sure everybody feels involved, that they're learning. And that's truly very important. And I think I heard the question about what happened to some of the children. Some of them, especially the kindergarten parents, they're a little bit more concerned. So they kind of held back, some of them all over the district, for their kindergarten children. They may be coming during the second semester, or as you heard, might be next year, but some of them may have gone to a different kind of setting because, I mean, it's a lot when you talk about kindergarten, especially when you're talking about kindergarten children on distance learning doing remote. That's pretty hard. And we have to remember many of our parents are working, and sometimes children are home alone, trying to make it do for their sisters and brothers to keep up. And all they have is their teacher within the classroom, as well as the one for remote. And we have to be praying for all of our children and making sure we help them. And the goal is to get everybody to school as soon as it's safe and healthy for everyone. But I love it because all of our schools have been very conscientious with making sure that we put safety first above everything, and second with academics. And I love your Bobcat laws, Tracy, as you walk into your school and everybody know the 6 feet distance, because you know a mask means everything, as well as social distancing, and trying to make sure that you're still learning and growing and developing for our children. And I want to make sure that we commend all of the people, everybody there, the dads, the volunteers, everybody that's helping to make it work. Because every school is different. When as I walk the schools in different places, I see everybody is doing some of the same things that I saw tonight from you, Tracy, as well as what I saw from Royal Palm Beach High School and in all the other schools. Everybody's working on safety and healthiness for everyone. We don't want anyone not to be able to make it. And the district has put in places, you know, you've seen our dashboard probably that tells you about the condition, the health conditions of our schools, if we've had any breakouts, if we've had people who've had to go home, or if we've had some that's infected. You can kind of watch all of that on the website. So I really want you to kind of stay on the website. I know you're using the website many times for different things, but look at that. Most of our schools have school nurses that are there. If you don't have a full-time nurse, you do have a that's there part of the time. Every school is being covered because anybody could get sick while they're at school, and there is a protocol. And if someone gets to school and all of a sudden they don't feel well, we have a protocol in place to take care of those children. Same thing for the teachers or anyone that may have an issue as it relates to COVID-19. We're there to help. So when I presentations and I see them in person, I just want to tell you thank you. It's a new day now, and there are changes because we don't know how any of this will look a month from now, 2 months from now. But I think it's good that we're actually locking in those choices now because it will stabilize our schools. We'll know what children are in school and which children are on remote, and we can better meet everyone's needs. So as your board member, I'm here for you. If you need me, just know that. And as I'm visiting the schools and looking at the children in both places, I try to wave at them and tell them I'm so happy to see them in school today and to do their very best. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us. Okay, do we have any principals that want to report?
Hi, good evening. This is Stephanie Nance, Crestwood Middle School. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. Just wanted to share a quick woohoo, as Ms. Wetzel would call it, for Central Region. We're just so excited of Crestwood's continued commitment to the K-12 continuum that the Village of Royal Palm Beach established several years ago. And so I just wanted to share very happily how as we continue to provide our students with the skills necessary for high school readiness, that they are actually executing those skills. So I just wanted to share with the group how proud of the former Crestwood students we are that are now ninth grade co-representatives of Student Council at Royal Palm Beach High School. Former Crestwood students Jennifer Larson and Sydney Greenaway Matthew. They are now sitting on the Student Council Government Board at Crestwood Middle School. So I just wanted to bring recognition to those outstanding students, and I know Dr. Armis will be very pleased with the skills that those young ladies are going to bring to the vision of Royal Palm Beach High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nance. Anyone else? Ms. Andrews?
Yes, I forgot to say something that was very important. Dr. Armis, I want to congratulate Royal Palm Beach High School. Air conditioning, okay, HVAC, unit, you did it. We are so proud to say that Habitat for Humanity built the eighth house in conjunction with Seminole Ridge High School. The HVAC boys and girls from Royal Palm Beach High School did all of the HVAC work for the eighth Habitat for Humanity house. This house was built all by students, and the HVAC part was done by Royal Palm Beach High School. We dedicated that house last week in Belle Glade, Florida. Dr. Amos, I got a chance to walk through and feel the wonderful air condition that your students put in their hot day, and it was great. The family was so proud to have their own home. It was so wonderful. And this year we didn't have the children there because we have to be very careful for safety and health. But I want to make sure all of your students know from me, I was there and I was shouting out for Royal Palm High School HVAC program, all of those young people that built the eighth house. I've been there for all 8 of them. The eighth house for Habitat for Humanity. Congratulations, Wildcats.
Thanks. Thank you very much. We always tell everybody that those houses are great, but they're not cool until Rural Palm Beach High School kids get involved. Thank you. Yes, our kids do a great job. And it's a great partnership we have with Seminole Ridge and their construction academy. And they're doing great work.
Okay, and our student council report, Mr. Johnson.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, great. Well, good evening, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be a part of a discussion that addresses and shifts the trajectory of educational issues pertaining to the village of Royal Palm. So thank you again for this opportunity. First, I would like to say that Royal Palm Beach High School is making it their due diligence to tackle the demographics and desires of their student body. So I'm proudly announcing that October 19th through the 23rd is our very first Spirit Week for the school year. We have fun and interactive days that the student body will be gladly to participate in. Days such as I Miss You Monday, where the student body will reach out to a friend from school and let them know that they matter, that they are cared for, and that they are missed. Talent Tuesday, where they'll showcase their special talent, post pictures and videos on their Instagram platform displaying their talent. Wag Wednesday, when they'll take a walk with their pet or snap a picture with their pet or any pet they see and post it on their social media platform. Throwback Thursday, remembering the good old days, post baby videos and pictures of themselves when they were a baby. And last but not least, Staff Shout Out Friday / our very own Wildcat Friday, where they'll show gratitude to their favorite faculty or staff member and post pictures or memories with them. The student body will remember to post on their social media platform and at RPB_StepCo to be reposted on our Instagram page. Student Council welcomes our new members that were elected October 2nd, 2020. That means that more kids are now connected to the drive and to pursuit to uplifting and elevating the school spirit and participation at Royal Palm Beach High School. And that also means to the village of Royal Palm, we are looking forward to working with you guys, and we want to let you know, look out because the Wildcats are ready to work. I yield the floor.
Thank you. That was great. I love your enthusiasm. I like how you adjusted your Spirit Week too with everything that's going on. It sounds really fun. Okay, any board members have reports? No. Okay. Our next meeting is Monday, November 9th, same time. And we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay. Thank you everyone for being here.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.